Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently working on invading Australia. At this point, we've gotten basically all of the British Concordat under our control, at least all of it that we know of. There might be another island or two around somewhere that we just don't know about. That's a theoretical possibility. But at this point, we're attacking Port Blair, and this is primarily defended now by Australian forces. So that's definitely interesting. If we hop down to Australia, what are they at for manpower? Okay, they have a little bit. 909 to 1.43k. It's not a lot, to be sure. But at this point, these guys are going to be ready to invade when? Well, we don't have the naval supremacy in the Timor Sea at this moment, which is surprising. We do have the naval supremacy, actually. I think I just need to let this update. Okay, so now a day tick has gone by. This crosses into the Timor Sea up here, right. Okay. So with that in mind, we're going to need to grab, say, this fleet, and we're going to have them hop on over to the Timor Sea. We don't need them over here anyway. So that seems good. It's going to take them some time to get there. That's okay. So at 122 political power right now, how are we doing on coring? Do we need to do a core? No, we don't. Okay, so we can just work on doing more of this resource prospecting, and that's absolutely fine. We'll spend our political power that way for now. We'll acquire more territory after this war is over. Probably. So at this point, we're working our way through this. We just want to keep attacking here. This is all we want to do. We just want to keep on attacking, and we'll get there eventually. Eventually. So it will take some time for these guys to get here. They're on naval invasion support. Wait. They should actually be on patrol? There we go. That's going to be a little bit better. So they're on their way over, and they will give us what we need to launch this invasion of Northern Australia. This may be a catastrophic invasion, to be clear. There's no supplies for us up here. We'll have to make our own. We'll have to push out quickly and make our own supplies. So hopefully that ends up happening. We do have a force on its way over. I think they were supposed to come here, right? But I'm not sure who was supposed to come here. I feel like a unit of tanks was supposed to come to the Cocos Islands, but I think we ordered them to move up over this way? Was it you? No, these are unassigned, so they need to go here. There we go. And then they can get assigned to this attack, which they are. That looks good. And then we should have... Okay, we should have this unit of Marines here. They go here. Okay. But where is that unit of tanks that we ordered to come over here? I feel like we'd ordered them to come over here somewhere. I'm pretty sure we ordered a unit of tanks to go here. I don't know where, though. So we've got these guys up here. It is this unit. They're on their way down to here. And then from there, I don't know if we can order this, but from there, I'd like them to come here. And it looks like no, we just have to wait. Okay, that is fine. So our Navy is going to take a little while to get here. That's okay. And we're going to get these forces maxed back out, well, not really maxed out, but to the level we want them at. And this is currently a level 7 naval base, so that's okay. We'll just continue to attack here, and for now, it's okay. For now. I would like to launch this attack up over here eventually. The question is, when are they going to be ready? Well, we don't have sufficient naval supremacy here, and these units actually want to time this attack so that these all launch at the same time. So let's just not have them be executing that attack yet. Let's just have it be prepped, and we'll order when we want it to be executed. We've currently only got 10% naval supremacy here due to low enemy intel. Okay, that's fine. For the time being, as long as we get this done, it should be okay. Let's have these guys head out over here. They can just go back and forth. So that seems fine. We should have enough naval supremacy. Are we going? We're going. Beautiful. Hey, look. Chile declared war on Chile. No one could have seen that coming. So we're on our way down. We're going to invade Australia here, and we'll see how that goes. What's the status of our tanks at this point? Because we do want to get them down here relatively quickly. Have they managed to make their way down this way yet? They're working on it. They're working on it. So it's going to take them some time. The UK decrypted our ciphers. Okay. Did we ever max out our intelligence agency? Nope, we did not. Okay, hilarious. So we should probably work on that. Seems fine. And we'll see if this is going to be a defended landing or not. Looks like it is. We're currently winning it, but we did land right here. Okay, so with that in mind, we want to definitely assist this attack. Let's kick them out of there. Okay, so that's out of there now. We want to immediately push out as much as possible here, at least to this position. So these guys are going to make their way in. We need to start building a naval base immediately here. So we'll get that in there. And where is our additional 3 units? Are they here? Okay, they are here. So I want them to push out over like this. Okay. So we're getting ourselves a position here where we are hopefully theoretically capable of stopping them from attacking right here. So what we want to do is we want to build in land forts here. And we want to hold there for now. They're going to be attacking here pretty regularly. That's understood. Okay. We just need to buy some time here, right? That's what we need. So I want to have these units start attacking here. There we go. And there's a level of land fort here. Okay, beautiful. So now I want to build a level of land fort here as well. This is the position we want to hold. Okay, so we stack wiped this, and now our forces are getting up to the front lines. So we can see we have a level of land fort here, and we should get a level of land fort here very soon. In theory. And we're building behind this naval base level. So we're going to have that done in just a couple of days here. So I think we're going to be good, and we want to immediately grab our tank unit that is in position here, and they're going to come down right here. Now, this is going to be a lot of supplies. No doubt about it. So we need to get this built up. That's for sure. I think this is our land fort here. Kind of right on the border. It's a little odd that they didn't put it like here or something like that, but it's fine. Okay, so we now have a naval base right up over here. So we'll bump that up. This is reading as 50 out of 8. That's odd. But at least we have some source of supplies here, right? That's the benefit. What's the status of infrastructure here? We don't have full control of the state. Okay. Yeah, this whole thing is the state. Fair enough. So for right now, the job of the Marines is to hold this position, and we do have some amount of supplies coming through. It's going to be grim, and the reason it's going to be grim is, of course, because we need to rank up this naval base, and these tanks are going to be coming in and making our supply situation so much worse. It's going to be so much worse. But we're fortifying this front line here. They're going to have a much harder time pushing in there very, very shortly, and we have some form of supply flow at this point. So that looks good. The next level of land fort, or rather the next level of sea fort, no, these are not the right words. Naval base. The next level of naval base is going to be done in about 12 days. So that will help matters anyway. Okay, let's check in on how things are going up here. So at this point, we can see this is at 7 out of 29 on this naval base. That's interesting. We're still working on this, and I want to pull all of our naval forces out of here at this point. We don't need naval forces out here, so let's move them up here instead. And let's make sure that you are up here, and you are also up here on naval invasion support. There we go. So that'll be fine. We'll get additional forces up here, and hopefully that'll give us enough naval supremacy in this area, even without good intel on them. We'll see. Our tanks are on the way here, and it's currently the 14th, so we're going to have a few days before this becomes a level 2 naval base. But we'll just bring these right on in. I also saw some Australian divisions right up over here. That was interesting. Okay, so our tanks are arriving on Australia now. And we can see that supplies are at 10 of 8. This is not very surprising. Now at 15 of 8. But that's about to go up. Draft dodging. That's rude. Okay. So we're now at 12 of 11. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. So at this point, we probably don't need much for supplies going down this way, but we'll probably need like one logistics depot. So to that end, I'm going to immediately begin building a railroad kind of down this coastline. So we'll get started on that. That seems okay. Have we finished up our coastal forts here? Not yet, and I think we should probably wait for these coastal forts to finish before we really push out. That'll also buy us some time for this naval base to get another level completed, which would be very nice. So that seems okay. We'll just give this a little bit of time. Let's check in on the status of our naval invasions after this autosave anyway. Let's hop up over this direction and let's see what Britain's up to. So yeah, they're definitely dropping their organization some. That's intriguing. I kind of want to immediately launch these. Are they ready to go over here? Let's see. Yeah, they're ready to go. So off they go, and off these go. We're going to be attacking these kind of sequentially. So these are going to come down here. They're not going to get very much done, I bet. Last time, their organization just kind of vanished the moment they started the attack. I'm not entirely certain why. Yeah, once again, look at that. Their organization just poof, gone. Okay. Well, they just completely gave up on that. To the point where I don't think it's worth them doing this anymore, to be honest. We're gonna need them to not go here though, but that's where they're going. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. This army just immediately loses all of their organization in the first millisecond of combat. Wait, this one did too. That's interesting. That's probably a bug, right? But I guess that means there's not really any point to continuing to naval invade. And we should just be pushing forward and continuing to batter them in a more traditional fashion. So let's just move these guys out of here for now. We do not want them here. And then this army is going to be arriving here as well. We don't want them here either. They're just going to strain our supplies. So it looks like naval invasions over here are a bust for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but that's fine. We can just continue these attacks forever. If we can get Australia to capitulate, by the way, look at how many of these forces are Australian. 14 of the infantry units here and 1 tank unit. So that means there's only 4 actual British units here. So that looks great. So if we can get Australia to capitulate, that would be magnificent. So at this point, this is a level 3 naval base, and we're just waiting on this. Okay. So that looks good. That's going to be complete on 27 April, and that is when we're going to plan to launch this attack. And this attack is just going to be an offensive line all the way down the coast. I'm not going to order the attack yet until the 27th. So, that's just a couple of days out. And that will also hopefully get us closer to a level 4 naval base up here. It's going to be a little while yet. Okay, 10 May. That's not too bad, to be honest. What's our supply situation there? 11 out of 14. Okay, well, we're just having a bit of a hard time reaching down over here already, but it's okay. So we're going to tell these guys that they can go ahead and launch this basically any time now. I'm just waiting until the 27th. Go. Okay, and we'll just push right on through. This sort of terrain is very good for tanks. Well, maybe not so much forest, but this terrain is not terrible for tanks. So we should be able to push through relatively well. And the real question is, where are we going to need supplies? If anywhere. I'm thinking we should build a hub right here. This is basically the halfway point. Or maybe right here, because there is a hub in Perth, so this would be basically the halfway point. Yeah, let's do that. So let's build a supply hub right here and connect that up. And if we end up stalling out due to lack of supplies, which is a possibility, then that's on the way. So that looks good. But as of right now, we might be able to make it down to Perth, and that would be fantastic if we could do that. There are quite a number of British-Australian units here, though. So we'll see how that ends up going. So that's all underway. That seems fine. The supply hub is going to take a while to build, but we don't really mind that too much. We're actually doing very well on this push. Their organization is extremely low down here. There's actually a lot of British units down here. Oh, look, a war in Chile. I didn't even know the other one was over. Okay, so the British-Australian units actually left here. Presumably, they were called back home to try to defend against this push. But I don't know that they're going to get there in time, to be honest. But we might stall out due to lack of supplies here. That is a possibility here. What is our supply setup looking like? Yeah, so supplies are not reaching down this far, so a supply hub here is probably pretty necessary. We'll see if we manage to take Perth. It's kind of unlikely. I'm not surprised necessarily that we're stalling here. This is entirely due to supplies. So that sounds good. If we check up over here now, we can see there's definitely far fewer troops here, and the majority of them are indeed British. Chile joined the British Concordat again. Now that's fake Chile, not real Chile. Yeah. And it's over. Okay. So that's absolutely fine. They're going to keep doing that. It's okay. For the time being, we are trying to press in here, but really we're not probably going to make significant gains until the 29th of July. That's okay. No. Get out of here. So I want to check in on auto-saving, apparently. We are checking in on auto-saving. Perfect. But what I wanted to check in on was, how are things going up here in Portland? Okay. Their number of troops has significantly reduced, and their fighting strength is, with the exception of this unit, pretty high. Surprisingly so. Now, we're still struggling a little bit down here. We do have a level 9 naval base here, but really, draft dodging again. Okay, well, we'll do draft reform again. To be honest, we don't really need the draft, but it's okay. So yeah, this is fully stalled out down here. This is deeply, deeply unsurprising. This is why we queued up this hub. We did almost make it to Perth, but we ran out of momentum right before Perth, sadly. If Perth had fallen, this whole thing would have, and we'd be in a much better situation now, but we just gotta wait. It's fine. So there are 3 UK units here at this point that weren't there previously. That's definitely interesting. I'm wondering if they do have holdings somewhere that we don't know about. Malta is owned by the French Commune, so it wouldn't be that. There are exiled divisions up here. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know what's going on with that, but sure. This is owned by Portugal, we already checked, and this up over here is owned by... Who was that? Cabo. Okay. And what about up over here? I don't think they hold anything in the Caribbean. No, they should not. I believe that this is the last remaining British province. But I don't know that for an absolute fact. There might be another little one out there somewhere. Who knows? But for now, it's the 2nd of July. So if we check in here, we can see 24th is when this is going to complete. We've got about 20 days. So that sounds good. For the moment, I do want to continue to work on developing our resources. So that all looks good. And then down here, we're not very amphibious, right? We just have a bit of a hard time crossing this crossing. That's a bit rough, but we're just keeping it up. We're keeping up the pressure here, and for now, it's okay. Once we get Australia out of there, that will reduce this by a decent amount. But this is a very difficult place for us to attack. Now, one thing we could do is we could start bombing it to, like, reduce their level of land fort. Surprisingly, they're keeping it repaired, which is probably because we gave them so many civilian factories to buy all their land. That's probably the case. So we've got these naval patrol bombers, but what if instead we start doing strategic bombing? And we have them come out over here. No, I want you to come specifically... Okay, I guess we do have to go to the sea zone. Sure. So we're going to do that. We're going to start just doing some strategic bombing here. The goal is to cause damage to these land forts. And we can see there was briefly a damaged level there, but they're absolutely repairing it very quickly. So these land forts are the reason why we're not really able to push in. But we're working on it. We're definitely working on it. So let's get that going for now. And down over here, it's the 24th. So we need to come in here and motorize those supplies. Boom. And immediately, we should be able to start making pushes here again. There we go. Now, our tanks are definitely going to have a bit of a hard time breaking through these lines. They're pretty entrenched as well. But it's fine. We now have supplies flowing in, and keep in mind their manpower constraints. If we look at British Australia here, they are at 0 manpower. They cannot replace any losses that they take. So this is absolutely fine. We'll just continue grinding our way in here. And they're just slowly going to be losing fighting strength. As you can see, their fighting strength, the bottom bar there, it's slowly going down as we continue to press our attacks here. And of course, our organization needs to recover. That's all understood. I want to see what we can get here. Movement bonus on land or entrenchment speed. None of that's really particularly useful, to be honest. I guess I'll take the movement bonus on land. Sure. Seems okay. So our Marines are here to hold the line if they counterattack, and the tanks are doing the actual attacks. So we'll just work our way through this. Eventually, they will begin to collapse as they run out of supplies and as they run out of troops. So that seems fine for now. Up over this way, I want to check to see how we're doing on these land forts. Yeah, they just repair these so quickly, and this has to be because we gave them 10 trillion civilian factories. I'm 95% certain about that. They have a lot of off-map civilian factories. But these battles are becoming a lot longer. And that's good. That's very good for us. We can see organization levels here are getting quite low for them. And that's a very good sign. We don't want to let up. We just want to maintain this attack as much as possible. So we're just continuing to attack there very, very significantly. And down over this way, once again, it's the same basic strategy. We're just attritioning them to death at this point. They're pretty dug in here. And what's the level of land forts down over here? Yeah, they've maxed out the land forts along this line. So once we break through that, they've actually maxed out the land forts all around their entire area. That's noted. Chile declared war on Chile. That's also noted. These are very brief battles. Very brief indeed. I'm going to start building another supply hub down over here, just in case. If it gets built by the time we take Perth, then it's kind of unfortunate. But if it doesn't, then I'll be glad it's there. So, yeah, that's autosave. Okay. Sure. Hi, autosave. So we've got just a couple of stalemates going on here. We're working on pushing our way through them, but the attacks up over here are getting a little bit longer, and we're trying to damage these coastal fort levels, but man, turns out we gave them a lot of civilian factories. So that's absolutely a thing. Oh, they're attacking us here. This is very good. We want to see them attacking us like that. So the war in Chile is over. No shockers there. Yeah, we definitely want to see them attacking us. But we also want to attack them. And we'll just slowly work our way in here. As we work through their amount of resources, this is just going to get worse for them. Wait, did we just get we just got kicked out of here? I didn't read that as losing that battle. That was kind of nuts. Well, okay then. So this doesn't have land forts built in it. They built those land forts afterward. So I guess we'll do the same. There's nothing really stopping us from building land forts all over this, right? So we'll do the same. Sounds good. Presumably they're going to build land forts here. But that also means that we're pushed back closer to this supply hub, which is not necessarily ideal. We're not building here now, and I would like to have a supply hub there. That was very rude of them, for sure. But two can play at that game. And so we shall. And actually, we just pushed them out of here again. So that's wonderful. We want to immediately begin building land forts here, and I want to, again, immediately begin building a supply hub here. And this rail connection, apparently they converted the gauge. Rude. So our forces are arriving down over here, and we'll work on getting these land forts built up. Once the land forts are built up, we'll be in a much better place to defend this. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're just going to continue working our way through these last couple of areas here. It's very, very close now. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.